Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Anton, and today we're going to be checking out Five Finger Death Punch's new music video for Times Like These, which we've already reacted to. Also, without knowing, I actually didn't know this came out, but we just did the music video reaction for Welcome to the Circus, which was phenomenal. So this is a part one of the story. So this is going to be like a prequel for us. I'm going to piece everything backwards and see how these things are connected. But sit back, relax, and let's get a Five Finger Death Punch Times Like These. Digital safety bill heads towards you. Oh shit. National Compliance Bureau. US moves to digital dollar. Well, that was fucking crazy. Holy shit, this actually might be way more realistic than I thought. So they're actually doing all of this shit. Like, I'm really big into finance and stuff, so I research this stuff all the time. But yeah, the dollar is not backed by gold anymore, if any of you guys don't know that already. And China, Canada, United States, almost every government around the world is trying to find a blockchain-based currency, which... that goes way deeper. I'm not going to talk about it in this video, but just look into what that means for social credit systems, like China, and social scoring systems. But this is interesting. Okay, we're going to break down this entire video here. 2022 live news, privacy, what, why, what are you hiding? Oh, it's a breakdown of, you know, their perspective on the next like 10 years. Because I know the World Economic Forum by 2030 has stated that they want a shareholder economy where nobody will be owning anything, but we'll all be happy. So at least we'll all be happy. But so yeah, this is interesting. I don't know if this is Zoltan's perspective on what is going to be happening in his timeline, or if he's actually done research and this is what the World Economic Forum and different governments around the world and European Union and stuff have actually said. 2027, vote by text. National Compliance Bureau launched. Yep. Because the thing is, people actually can't retaliate against the government if there's a digital dollar, because what they can do is they can say if you have protested at all in your life, it's going to go on record, and we can actually punch in your national service record or your social record from in the global society into the US dollar, digital dollar, and literally like they can have a list of all of the information of your health information, your social information, your voting information, all of your social information literally imprinted into the economy. And it's hard to explain, but this is all crypto blockchain stuff. So they can actually, yeah, they can put in rules and regulations embedded within the actual money, within the economy. It's insane. Like, seriously, look into it. It's mind-blowing. And all of this already exists. You can do this with Ethereum and several other blockchain stuff right now. So this is not a conspiracy theory. If anyone thinks it is, you're not paying attention. All of this stuff is absolutely true. And so essentially, if we go to a digital dollar, people can't protest or have any perspective outside of the social consensus norm, because you won't be able to buy groceries. You won't be able to buy oil or gas for your vehicle. They've literally all talked about this in seminars and webinars about all these things I'm saying right now. I'm not making this up. They've said, and also with like lockdowns, COVID and stuff, they can just say, okay, they put in your geographical information into your pay into the economy. They'll have a list and a database of everybody's where you're born, where you live, all this stuff. And if there is a curfew or whatever, they'll just say, yeah, you can't buy anything 5 kilometers outside of your radius of your home. It's super easy. You can do it literally right now already with things like Ethereum, but they want to actually be able to do it with their censored, controlled currency. Social score system implemented. Yep. Wow, this is going deep into the future. Does AI have rights? Supreme Court replaced with AI. Human cloning approved. Monument of the... I want to read this graphic novel, man. Zoltan's a genius. I love these videos, man.
Anyways, anybody notice that the sky is falling? Are we all just happy in the rain? Am I the only one who hears the sirens calling? Am I the only one who feels the pain? It's times like these when the sorrow shadows all the laughter. Times like these when the hurt goes on and on forever. Times like these I wanna fade away.
I love like the lo-fi sound of this, eh? I love that guitar.
I read all the pages from left to right. I took one in the morning and one at night. The fire still burns, but it's cold inside. It's all that I can do. Anyway, no one wants to talk about the end is coming. Pointing fingers, handing out the blame. If I gave you answers to all your questions, could you change or would you stay the same? 'Cause it's times like these when left is right and forward's backwards. Times like these when days and nights just roll together. Times like these I wanna fade away.
Yeah, this song is so good. I just love the vibe. So smooth. There's Zoltan. The wise mentor. Oh, he's the one who gives it to Ivan. So that's what's gonna wake up humanity.
'Cause it's times like these when the sorrow shadows all the laughter. Times like these when it seems that nothing worse can happen. Times like these, it's times like this I wanna fade away.
Oh, and this is the beginning of the next one. I love how they do. Oh, that's cool. All right, so that was 5-finger death punch times like these, man. God, dude, these music videos are fucking insane. I like, these are some of the best music videos I've seen in a long time. Like, I just, wow. Yeah, I love this. I love how thought-provoking it is, man, because, yeah, I definitely have a part of me that's, like, just very skeptical and very non-conformist. Everyone close to me knows, like, I've always been like this. I've always just, like, questioned things. Like, everything all the time. Used to drive people fucking crazy. and like in school and stuff, because I also did this with like my teachers and everything. So I was expelled and suspended like 20 times. But I just like, I love just philosophical, thought-provoking stuff with like a social conscience. Like I just think that this whole kind of idea that Zoltan is creating with these music videos is absolutely stellar. Like it's so, God, it captures my attention so much. But man, I love this. Like this is straight up like the Matrix shit, man. The Matrix is like one of my favorite movies of all time, probably top 5. And just like, again, that whole idea of the movie is like so integral to kind of who I am as a human being. You know, again, like, you know, I was always kind of into spirituality, flirting with spirituality when I was like 14 years old. And I was into counterculture stuff a lot. I remember like, you know, being, I think, 13 years old, and like I asked my mom about like oil and natural resources and fracking and all this stuff and billionaires and how the world is run. And I was just like, it doesn't seem like it makes any sense. Like it just seems, again, I think as I was always like a very empathetic, sensitive kid, like I could feel that like the world was so cold. I was like, man, something's just off. Like people treat each other like vermin. Like we treat each other like animals. And there seems to be no humanity at the top of governments, of corporations. It just seems like people just care about money. And I just never couldn't get my head around it. I couldn't understand how I fit into the world. Like I couldn't see it. I couldn't see how this was like my world that I wanted to interact with. You know what I mean? And so I love seeing bands like Parkway Drive, Black Veil Brides, Five Finger Death Punch, kind of start to take more of a counterculture, even like Aerials, Chop Suey, System of a Down, Rage Against the Machine. I love it when bands take a very like social, political stance in the world, because it's very interesting. It almost more like Disturbed is this too. It almost, you know, immortalizes their music in a sense. It makes it feel like there's a greater stake to the music than just music. You know, like, yeah, what a great song is a great song, but when a great song has a great message and a great song says something about humanity and human beings and the world and all this stuff, like the stakes are way higher. And this is obviously where I'm taking the podcast and, you know, starting to have on higher profile people. And I just realized I wanted to start to have conversations that, you know, mattered. And obviously the psychology, the healing stuff is always a part of me. That is like the core of who I am. But, you know, I just realized that there's another huge part of me that cares about the world, not just about myself, cares about people, cares about the future, and is curious about how we're going to live in 20 years, how we're going to live in 30 years. Like all of the stuff about the beginning of this video. Like I've been very curious about cryptocurrencies and economics and the way that governments and banks have controlled the world, you know, for a long time. And, you know, just all of these things, without getting too deep into it, it's just like I'm just fascinated by power structures and how people with money and influence and control, like even the music industry, when you get in and you're seeing more people talk. Like my friend Ian was in the music industry. He's a musician. And he was telling me about the crazy shit, how they're trying to make AI music now so they don't have to pay royalties to artists. He's like, dude, literally they're in talks right now where Spotify they want to get rid of music on their platform and just be a podcasting platform so they don't have to pay artists royalties. They don't have to pay people money, and they'll make all their money with podcasting. Then they want to start implementing AI music, because do you have to pay an AI? No, you don't. So you just fucking make all this AI music, put it on Spotify, put it on Apple Music, all this shit, and then you make tons of fucking money and you don't have to pay anybody for anything, because they're not human beings. And then you get in this thing with Five Finger Death Punch. Will AI have human rights? Because if we actually develop AI, this is like Westworld shit, right? Like if you develop AI to the point of sentience, and they can actually, like, what makes a human being and what makes an AI an AI? You know, is it consciousness? Is it the ability? Like, when does an AI get the same rights as human beings? Are human beings given rights because we were supposedly created by God, or at least that's how we're viewed? If you actually read the United States, all their, I'm thinking the Canadian Bill of Rights and Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and not the Declaration of Independence. I'm going blank on it, but you guys all the rights document of the United States government. If you read it, it's these rights are given under God, right? So there's like, when the founding of the country happened, there was a very strong religious attribute to that. Is what a human beings are divine. Human beings deserve human rights. Why? Because we're children of God, right? So now we live in an atheistic culture that doesn't believe in God. So then the question is, okay, if the powers that be were to recreate the human rights for the United States people, would they give you any rights? Is there any reason to? Like, you know what I mean? It's just really interesting. Are rights a human right? Are they a privilege? Are they, like, you know what I mean? Like, when you really think about it, it's like we've been just continuing the rules and regulations of the people that created this country. But if we were to start over, what would our present government say about human rights? Would it be you have human rights until you disagree with us, until you make a statement on social media that we don't agree with, then you don't need social rights? Because that's the way it is with China, right? There is literally a country on the planet that operates that way. And then a lot of people are like, well, the United States government is better than that. It's like, why? If it was better than that, it would be the only government in history that's ever been better than that. If you look at, we've had a world that was born through colonialism. We speak English because the British colonized pretty much most of the world, right? Then the Spaniards colonized a lot of South America, right? Which is why they all speak Spanish, except for Brazil. And so it's very interesting when you look at like history and you go like, are we really promised things, or have we fallen into being promised things that a lot of people probably don't want to actually have to promise us? Because if we follow anything like China, it'd probably be a lot easier for governments to not have to promise any civil liberties or human rights, because really they want order, they want peace and order in whatever way they want, right? So it's just fascinating. It's just a lot of these questions that these music videos have been bringing up, which is phenomenal, and I love thought-provoking stuff. Again, why I love fucking The Matrix and Inception and, just a lot of amazing movies. Minority Report. There's just a lot of cool things that make you think about what it means to be a human being. But yeah, this was Five Finger Death Punch's Times Like These. I hope you guys enjoyed this video breakdown and story breakdown. What were your thoughts on this song, on this music video? Let me know down below. And we've done a lot of Five Finger Death Punch. So if you want to go on the Five Finger Death Punch journey with myself, click right here and I'll see you in the next one.